Hey guys, my name is Deanne, and I just want to apologize in advance because I've been really under the weather this past week. But I just want to discuss in this presentation. I'm going to reflect on my racial identity and how critical race theory has helped me better understand it. Racial identity development theory helps explain how people come to understand their race over time, especially through experiences and social influences. For me, it helped me to realize that my understanding of race didn't happen all at once. Like, I went through things in my, not so much elementary that I can remember, but in junior high and definitely in high school. Um, and it gradually helped like me to understand more of this based on my environment, school, interactions with family, even. What really helped my racial identity development was my upbringing, the diversity of my community I lived in, what I saw in school and the media, who I chose to hang around with, like in junior high, is kind of really what fuels it, I think, because I'm half white, half Mexican. My mom's side is white, my dad's side is Mexican. My mom's stepdad was really pro white, I guess you could say. And when he kind of found out like the music I was into, the people I was hanging around with, he was just like, no, and he shut it down. And that was really kind of hard for me. And I think my mom was kind of put off by it also. So we stopped going over there so much. But growing up, I mean, I didn't think about race over time, though, especially with my grandpa. I became more aware of how race can affect opportunities and experiences and how it could affect my life. Race plays a big role in shaping identity because it affects how others may perceive you, for sure, and how you see yourself. I first became aware of my racial identity when I noticed the difference in how people treated me, um, and the things that I was into and listened to and surrounded myself with, especially like in my home settings. That awareness made me start questioning like how things really were, like the effectiveness, the fairness, the inequality. I'm sorry. Um, One example that helped me understand institutional racism was noticing differences in the resources, um, with like in kind of in my school. It wasn't too crazy, in the community, and again in my family. Some schools had more funding, um, more so in my cities. In the community, I saw that some areas of where I lived had better funding, better materials, more opportunities. Um, and I noticed that it like reflected larger on the systems that create this inequality. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Um, Unequal access. Just based on like where we were at, I was kind of like, it's kind of crazy. Like, why are these schools over here having this kind of stuff? Why does um like the northern area of the city I live in have this kind of stuff, but down when you get like into the south area, like it wasn't really like that. You could tell like there was less resources, and it reflected in the environment, like how the people were. Um, Even if I didn't directly experience that, which I mean, in my community, I didn't really see that so much, um, where I lived, but in my family, I did. But recognizing these patterns help me to understand that institutional racism isn't always obvious or intentional, but I mean, some people grow up that way, and it reflects in what we're seeing, like in our community and stuff like that. Um, Not personally experiencing certain forms of racism can also be connected to privilege. Privilege doesn't mean that people haven't worked hard. It just means that there are fewer barriers. I mean, I feel like a lot of people see racism, but they just maybe turn a blind eye to it. Um, like, oh, I didn't see that, and just kind of like look the other way. But they know, they know. Um, But understanding this has helped me to become more aware how different people experience the world, definitely, for sure. Um, the Erickson stage is an example. At the time I became more aware of these issues, I was in adolescence, which relates to Erickson's stage of identity versus role confusion. The stage is when people start figuring out who they are and how they fit into society. Um, that was junior high for me. I started listening to a certain kind of music that my grandpa in particular, was just like, yeah, no, I don't think so. That's not what we do. That's like, you shouldn't be listening to that. And I'm like, why? Like, I didn't understand. I just knew that there was conflict there. Um, as I became more aware, as he threw it more in my face, I was in adolescence, which relates to identity versus role confusion. The stage is when people start figuring out who they are and how they fit into society. And I knew where I wanted to fit in, and I could obviously, I was starting to see where he fit in, and I knew that that's not where I wanted to be. Um, because I was in this stage, these experiences had a strong impact on me. And again, that's where my mom saw it, and we kind of stopped going over there. Um, I started thinking more critically about the fairness and my role in society, and I knew I did not want to be where he was. So it began to shape my confidence, my identity, and my sense of belonging. The critical race theory explains that racism is not just about individual actions, but is embedded in systems and structures. And it also highlights how different identities like race, class, and gender intersect and affect people's experiences. Um, I believe one action I can take to challenge these systems is speaking up and raising awareness when I see inequality. Um, it could be like in your school, if you see it in your school, in your community, if you see it in your community, or me personally in my family. This could include advocating for equal resources, supporting policies that promote equity, or educating myself and others. And I think that's the route that I've taken most, is education. I'll speak up when I see something, for sure, but I will most definitely point out to people like, hey, like, I see what you're doing here, you know? Um, I think that according to like scholars of like Delgado and Stefancic, that critical race theory emphasizes the importance of recognizing systemic inequality in order to create. Um, so sorry, just not feeling great. Uh, in order to create change, but by being more aware and actively addressing these issues, individuals can help challenge unfair systems. So, looking back, if I've encountered a situation involving inequality again, um, I'm definitely going to speak my mind. I think I learned that from like an earlier age, when I started stepping or speaking up and out against my grandpa. Which is crazy because like I don't remember him ever being kind of weird with me when I was younger. I think, and I don't know that he ever had a problem with my dad, but I do think that maybe he held back until I honestly, I don't even know. It's just so hard to it's hard to remember back that far. And it's hard I just don't remember him being like that. But actually I have heard stories though where he's been a little bit more like on the racial like inappropriate side. Um but again, like I don't remember him making comments to my dad or ever hearing things that he made comments to my dad. But I know as soon as I was able to recognize what he was doing, I spoke up and I said things. And that's why uh, I don't have a relationship with him to this day. I honestly don't even know if he's alive because he kind of got phased out with my mom as well. So definitely speaking up is not staying silent is something that I think is a good way to start, even if you don't really know the direction you're heading. Like, that's just a starting point. Thank you for taking the time to listen.